Hey there gamers, it's me, your boy Waddles, welcome back, and welcome to a build tutorial. In today's build tutorial, I'm going to show you how to build this modern house that's behind me right now. I designed this build with some inspiration from this real world house right here. Inside of the house, you'll find pretty much everything you'd ask for in a basic survival house. Trust me, if you build this in your world, it's definitely going to catch some eyes from your friends. It stands out. So we'll do a quick tour right here, then we'll jump into the materials. So you walk in the front door and then you have this big open room. I decided to put an enchanting setup over here and then a little bit of a dining area with a map on the table. Over here is what I like to call the crafting room, complete with your basic crafting blocks. Then over here we have a kitchen with, of course, a subscribe fish. And then over here we have a back door and a staircase to the upstairs master bedroom. Inside of this bedroom you'll find a closet and a back balcony. If you enjoy the build tutorial, help me out by leaving a like on this video, and if you'd like to see more build tutorials, remember to hit that subscribe button. Okay, so now let's talk materials. For the outside of this build, you are going to need these things right here. The build is kind of large, so these might not be exact perfect numbers. It's kind of hard to go back and recount things. What you should have is at least this many of each thing. So white concrete, cyan terracotta, light gray, and then spruce planks. The build does require quite a bit of concrete, so maybe this isn't an early game build. Now down here, these amounts are a lot more exact except for the dirt. Again though, I apologize if my numbers are a little off. I tried my best here. Now you should also definitely have some placeholder blocks for this build, and more than just one of them. These will be blocks that we'll place down and then remove later on when we're ready to finish things up. Now over here in this chest are the materials that you'll need to decorate the inside of the house, but obviously not in exact amounts. So in this build tutorial, we'll be doing the outside exactly. I'll show you how to build the outside like identically. The inside though, I'll give you some tips and pointers, but it's going to be a lot more up to you. You should decorate the inside of the build however you'd like to decorate it. These are some of the things that I use to decorate the inside of my house, but it's kind of all personal taste. So really go ahead and grab all of this stuff and then let's go ahead and start building. Alright, so layer 1 of the house is actually already put in. We're going to go layer by layer. Now, on the first layer, I put it in so we could talk about dimensions. After the first layer, we'll be placing everything in pretty much together on camera. So let's go ahead and start with dimensions. We'll start with this bit right here. This is where the front door is going to be eventually. This right here is cyan terracotta, and it is 3 blocks long. After that, go ahead and go diagonally back and in 1 block and place some light gray concrete. After that, place 5 more, so this front wall is 6 blocks long in total, including the corner. After that, turn, and then go 9 blocks back, including the corner again, so in total, this wall is 9 blocks long. Go ahead and turn 1 more time, and now you're on the back of the build. This bit is 5 blocks long right here, again, light gray concrete still. After placing those 5 blocks, go ahead and pop out 1 and place a cyan terracotta block, just 1 block. Then go ahead and go back in and place 4 light gray concrete this time, and then another cyan terracotta block. Now, in here, you can fill this in if you want, or you don't have to. It's your choice. If you fill it in, it might look better from the inside, but yeah, it's totally up to you. I'm gonna leave it blank for now. Now we have this spruce bit over here. This is 3 blocks long, and then this is 4 blocks long, and then finally, last but not least, the white concrete part. This right here is 9 blocks long in total. Go ahead and turn, and then these are 4 placeholder blocks right here in the middle of a white concrete and a white concrete. So in total, this face is 6 blocks long. Last but not least, this is 3 blocks right here. So with those dimensions, everything should link up and you should basically have a giant L. This house is really made up of 3 separate squares. Square 1 is with white concrete, square 2 is with light gray, and then square 3 is really not existent right now, but it's done with spruce wood. So there you go, there's your dimensions for layer 1. Let's go ahead and finish things off by putting a front porch on the build. So start with a U of birch planks and then a birch staircase just like that. Then go ahead and fill in pretty much the rest of the whole front other than this corner right here, and don't go all the way over. You want this porch to be 1 block in from your outside wall over there. So there you go, layer 1 and the dimensions. Pause now if you need to. Hopefully the quartz will help you count blocks, but now we're going to go ahead and move on to layer 2 and start taking things a little faster. So I think we'll start layer 2 off by finishing the porch. Start by going to that missing corner and place 2 stripped oak logs. On top of those stripped oak logs, go ahead and place a oak pressure plate, just like that. Now we need some kind of like fence to hold the front porch in so you don't fall off of it, you know, and oak trapdoors are the perfect thing for that. So go ahead and place some temporary blocks like I just did, and then place your oak trapdoors and open them. Remove the temporary blocks after. The temporary blocks are definitely necessary to get these trapdoors placed in right, because otherwise you're going to end up with something that looks like that, and that's really not quite right. So there you go. Now we have that on the front porch. Now over here on the other side of this staircase, we need a railing. So fence, fence. Now, last but not least, let's go ahead and put in the front door. The front door will be right in front of the staircase, and it should open like this. While we're at it, we might as well go ahead and put the back door on the build as well. The back door goes right here, and again, it kind of goes like on the outside of the build, so it kind of opens like that. You will definitely need to place a block below this door if you want it to open correctly. Maybe consider raising the ground on the back of your house, or just place like a small back porch. That's really all your call. Alright, so now let's go ahead and start putting in the walls. We'll start each layer right here for as long as possible. So cyan terracotta, cyan terracotta. Then, with all of this light gray, we're going to pretty much raise the walls up by 1 block everywhere. The windows don't start until the next layer, at least in the light gray area, so we have pretty much like a really easy job here. The spruce, same thing, go ahead and raise the walls up, and then over here on the white concrete, go all the way over to the front, but actually, we need to put some windows in this time. There should be a window there, a window there, and a window there. Now, the window color is really your choice. You could do black stained glass, or you could do light gray stained glass, or really anything. You could do red if you wanted red. It's really, again, your choice. I'm going to go with light gray glass, though. Temporary blocks right here, and then finally, 3 more white concrete blocks like that to wrap up layer 2 of the build. This is what we have now. So now, layer 3. Start with a block right there, and then put a button on that block. This button is the doorbell, except there's actually no ringing included, unfortunately. Cyan terracotta there. Then, we need some windows on this front side of the build. So the windows are going to be kind of similar to how we did those ones. 1 block wide, and kind of spaced out by 1 block. Just 2 this time, though. So we end up with something like that. If you're going for more of a grand feel, go ahead and put 1 big window, but I like the divided windows. Now, turning the corner here, we actually want to have a wrapping window. I thought this window would be really, really cool and definitely help the build feel a lot more modern. So place a 3 block long window, including this corner right there, and then after that, 2 light gray concrete. After the light gray concrete, 3 more window blocks just like that, and another light gray concrete to finish this side off. Over on the back of the build now, again, 3 block long window and another light gray concrete block. Then cyan terracotta, light gray, window, light gray. Finishing things up, pretty much copy everything else on this layer, including the windows over here. These all need to be a little bit taller, and the walls all should continue to go up. Continue with your temporary blocks there. We'll explain those in a little bit if you haven't caught on yet, but here you go. This is layer 3. Oh, wait. Wait for it. That is layer 3. There should be a window right there as well for even more light to enter the build. Modern houses have a lot of windows. Layer 4 starts off with a cyan terracotta. This time, after that though, we're going to place a light gray glass block, like a full glass block. Then after that, another cyan terracotta. Now, everything else pretty much is continued upwards again, the same as it was on the last layer. So if there's a window, continue the window up. If there's a wall, continue the wall up. Almost, well, yeah, pretty much all the way around. Pretty straightforward at this point. Just make everything a little bit taller. Oh, but over here behind the door, place a light gray concrete this time to kind of cap that off. You don't really need a window above that one, but if you want one, you could definitely do that. It's your choice. Now, these windows are actually going to be just about done over here on, I guess, the garage portion of the builds, but just continue them up for now. More temporary blocks on the front, and then over here, make this window a little taller and the wall a little higher. That is now layer 4. Alright, layer 5 pretty much is going to be the same thing again here. The build is somewhat repetitive at this point. Just keep making everything taller until you get to the white concrete part of the build, because things are actually going to switch up over there. Now, this layer is, yep, pretty much the same as the last one, like I said, but the next layer won't be the same. So don't go and get too far ahead of yourself here. But now that we're all the way over here, This needs to continue straight across this time. No more windows, nothing like that. Nope, just like that. The front, however, still does need these temporary blocks, and then over here, this window should still continue upwards. Here is this layer 5? This layer. So, layer 6 is where things are actually going to start to get a little bit more interesting. This time around, instead of continuing the windows up on this cyan terracotta bit, go ahead and finish things off. Now over here on this part, go ahead and finish off these windows as well, so these windows end up being 3 blocks high. But this wraparound corner window, this one needs to get taller, so continue up with the glass there. Over here, light gray concrete all the way around to cap off both of those windows. Cyan terracotta goes up a little bit more, and then more light gray over here to finish things off. The beam over here should go up as well. And the spruce, it's still just spruce, so continue that. And then over here, we're actually ready to put a roof on this part, so wrap this all the way around. After raising the white walls up, so they're even with all of the rest of the walls, go ahead and go to the inside and bring these walls inward so we kind of start to put a roof on it. Now, over here in the front, you will want a skylight because skylights are fancy and modern. I'm doing it with white stained glass, but you could do it again with any color that you'd like. Go ahead and just sort of fill this white roof in for now. We might come back in and remove some of it later on in the build, but this will kind of just make things easier for us to look at. So go ahead and finish off the roof so it looks like that. So here we go. This is layer 6, I think. Alright, so layer 7 here, things start to get interesting. Now we need to make this fancy modern thing, whatever it's called, I don't really know. It does, though, hang over onto this roof, 2 blocks, so it goes all the way to the skylight, and then it goes all the way almost to this window here. We stop right above the second window on the front porch. Behind this, you can continue the wall upwards, or you don't have to because you technically can't see it, but over here you do want a light gray concrete. Our super cool corner window still goes up over here, same thing as before, then this just gets all filled in with light gray concrete. Continue these cyan beams up as well, and more light gray concrete over there. But on the back of the build, we're going to go ahead and put our balcony in, and the balcony should be just like that. You can actually make the balcony as long or as short as you'd like on the back of the house. You could make it like exactly like that if you think that looks better, or you could extend it. I'll extend mine to, how about there? That looks good. Now over on the spruce part of the build, go ahead and continue this wall up, and then we're actually going to change things up a little bit now. So go ahead and go 4 blocks out with spruce wood here, so you're even with the skylight, then go 3 more blocks over, so this front thing is 4 blocks long. To finish everything off, place a cyan terracotta block right there, just like that. Now this can technically continue all the way over if you'd like it to, your choice. If you're going to do the interior, you'll be putting a floor in here, so that might be a little different, but for now, I'm going to do that. Okay, so the next layer. Starting with this layer, we'll start our layers right here this time. So light gray, then we go ahead and go 2 windows, then light gray, then again 2 windows, and then finally light gray. We're going to have some tall windows on the front to make things nice and fancy. Now over here, this thing needs to actually continue upwards. Now what is this cyan thing? I don't know, it's modern. I put it here to make the build look fancy and look less flat. Now on the other side of that modern thing, place a light gray concrete and then 3 more corner window blocks. This window is going to be really tall. After the window, fill the rest of this side in with light gray concrete, and then the rest of the back all the way over to this spot right here, again with light gray concrete. Now we needed some back doors for the balcony. The doors should go like that so they open outwards, and then on the other side of the door, you can place a light gray concrete there, and then a cyan terracotta like that. Now to keep you from falling off of the balcony, I definitely recommend putting a railing on it. I used gray stained glass, but you could use, again, like whatever you'd like. Maybe iron bars could look cool there. Finish things off on this layer by basically continuing all of the spruce section upwards even more. Go ahead and start the next layer off by copying the front over again, like do the same thing that you did last time, but 1 block higher like that. Same with this modern thing, continue that up and then fill that in a little bit more, and this window predictably continues upwards. After that tall window, 1 light gray concrete this time, and then window all the way over around the corner to there, just like that. After that, fill the rest of this in, that in, place this beam even higher, and then again with the spruce wood, keep filling it in. We're almost done with the build at this point. On the next layer, copy everything again, make it all taller. including the new side window that we put in that needs to continue upwards. And the back, all of that should be the same. Above the door, place some light gray concrete to finish things off. And again, the spruce wood, keep going up with that. Kind of predictable. And finally, one more layer of all of that repeating stuff. Go ahead and make your windows taller. So these windows are actually 4 blocks high now, and continue this corner window up so it's like super tall, and then this back window is now going to be 3 blocks tall. The back side is pretty basic until you get to right above the door. Above the door, I'm placing a window 2 blocks wide, just like that, and then continuing this beam up. Now this back window could really be as long as you want or as small as you want, or you don't even have to put it. It's your choice. I think I'll leave mine just 2 blocks right above the door though. The spruce wood, that continues up still. But finally, something different. The spruce wood also fills in here because this is all done. Now, I recommend going ahead and just kind of filling things in like that. You can leave this like an L basically with a really thick tall part. But yeah, the spruce part is finally done as well, and the build is almost there too. So to start the next layer off, go ahead and just fill in the top of your windows so those are all nice and capped off, and the corner window gets to continue up one more time. Now on the rest of this build, continue filling things in with light gray concrete so the back ends up looking like that. Now let's swing back over to the front and make this whole beam thing go all the way across the front like this, and then over here and turn and go back towards the back of the build. Right here, we actually need to remove one light gray concrete and place cyan terracotta, cyan terracotta. Now, last but not least, the roof of the build. Go ahead and grab the last of the light gray concrete that you have and just fill everything in. Now, it's your choice. Put a skylight on this part or don't. I didn't on the initial build. I just left the roof all kind of flat and filled in, but you could totally put some kind of sky window in the bedroom, and that would be really, really, really cool. Or at least bedroom, assuming that you do the bedroom on the upstairs. But there you go. That is the outside of your modern house. It should end up looking something like this here. Now, of course, the windows, the decorations, everything like that, it's all kind of your choice. I mean, you could even change the light gray concrete for maybe white and then put the light gray down there instead. There's seriously a lot of room for customization on this build, but there's one more thing that we need to do on the outside, and that thing requires spruce trap doors. We need to put the garage door on. This is the garage part. If Minecraft did have cars, it doesn't, so it's not really. But cover all of your temporary blocks, assuming they're still there, with trap doors, and then you can go inside of the build and remove those temporary blocks. Now the inside is gonna be looking pretty bare, pretty empty at this point, and now it's time for you to get creative. But I do have a few tips for you. I really believe that these smooth blocks look really good in a modern build. So maybe pick one of these blocks and use that as the floor for the lower area. You will need to fill the floor in. As you can see, the door is one higher up and the door is higher over there too. When I was doing the interior of my house over there, I actually went ahead and continued this corner down so I kind of could see the different rooms here. This area is what I turned into my storage room on the other house. And then on the other house right behind the storage room, I put a staircase to go up to the top floor, which if you do it like I did, should be right in between these two windows here. Now, when doing this top floor, I did leave a balcony over by this tall window because I thought the tall window was really, really, really cool looking, and I definitely had to take advantage of that on both floors. So assuming you do the floor just like I did, you should end up with something that kind of looks like this here. The floor is even with the door, or again, evenly spaced in between these two windows. Then over here, I actually went ahead and put a closet in. You can build a wall up right here and then actually fit a small little closet in there. This one looks like it would actually end up being a little bigger than the one that I did. Now, if you don't really like staircases that are big and kind of windy, then maybe do some scaffolding and just kind of climb up, or even just a ladder. Ladders would work really well too. Swinging back over to the demo house for a little bit more inspiration here, I went ahead and fit an enchantment setup in this corner over here, and this enchantment setup actually gets me all the way to level 30, which is pretty cool. I made this a kitchen, but it's not really all that useful when it comes to survival, so maybe just leave that out and put even more chests over here. But over here is that whole storage room and kitchen thing that I was talking about. I actually used the garage here to place some double wide chests going all the way back towards the garage door, and then I put my chest labels. They're pretend, but the labels are up here. So this is where I put all of my prismarine, this is where all of the orange wool goes, and so on. You kind of get the point. Now I put my crafting blocks right here, so I did go ahead and fill this in and basically make this a little taller. And then over here behind us, I put a kitchen with, again, the subscribe fish reminding you to always subscribe if you haven't. Barrels make a nice looking counter and a functional counter as well that you can actually store things inside of. I built this nice hanging cabinet thing in the kitchen because cabinets hang in kitchens. This is just a staircase with some signs on it. It's meant to look like a chair, and I think it definitely does look like a chair. Now over here under the staircase, I actually put another closet with an armor stand and then some more chests for storage, because storage is probably the most important thing in a Minecraft house. So here's what my floor 1 looks like from this angle. Then going ahead and going up our winding staircase here to take a look at the bedroom, this is what I came up with. Now I put a chair looking out the front window, and then I built some kind of fancy master bedroom bed. What is it? I don't really know, but it's fancy. My closet is pretty small in here. I've got some barrels in the back for extra storage, and then an armor stand for even more armor storage right there if I needed it. Of course, we've got the best painting in the world hanging right there, and then the back balcony over here that is kind of hard to use, but not really. You just have to walk out and close the door, and then you're kind of good to go. So that's how I did my interior, but I'd love to see what you guys come up with. If you build this build in your world, in your server, and you do something cool with the inside, or you just want to show me, definitely tweet me a screenshot on Twitter. I love to see those things. But definitely don't forget to do the outside of your house as well. If you abandon the project at the house and the inside, then things are going to look really plain on the outside and definitely not fit in. I find that unhardened light gray concrete makes a really nice pathway, and then stone and andesite unpolished makes a really nice driveway. I went ahead and capped things off with, of course, a no wandering trader sign and then some bush fencing all the way around the house. And I even went ahead and added a garden in the front yard just to make things even more fancy. And there you go, that is this modern house, block by block, layer by layer. I hope you guys enjoyed this build tutorial. I actually don't do build tutorials a lot, so if there's something that I could do better, definitely let me know. I will take that advice and use it in the next build tutorial. If you liked this one, help me out by leaving a like and subscribing. If you're looking for some fresh gamer merch, it's linked down below the video. You can check it out, and don't forget to subscribe. If you love what I do, pledge on my Patreon for some cool rewards, some cool benefits, and remember, if you build this in your world, definitely tweet me some screenshots. The Twitter is linked down below as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Waddles. I hope this is the build you've always wanted. I'll see you next time. Goodbye, gamers. Go have a good one.